Open access.
It is probably the future of publication anyway, because the internet and the options provided by the internet are so overwhelming that open access will be a major part of the future publications.
I think it's about time that we adjust the way we publish to the modern times, and that we use modern technology to change the way science is being published in general, in principle, that we rethink the basic general system, how we communicate science between scientists and to the public.
I think the most important, what supporters of open access want, they want to have access wherever they are, whenever they need, to any research worldwide.
In these days, open access is not only an important topic for scholars. Thanks to public discussions about the Heidelberg Appeal and the Berlin Declaration, even the general public knows about open access to scholarly literature. For example, an online petition from October 2009 demands that the German Bundestag resolves to make scholarly publications freely available whenever as they come from publicly funded research. Institutions that manage public research money are requested to act accordingly and to implement the necessary technical requirements. Nonetheless, non-scholars rarely know or understand the basic principles and ideals of the open access movement, especially the reasons for open access to scholarly literature.
Open access is one side a well-defined concept, but it's also very broadly used by many people. Just to make it very clear, open access is of course not self-publishing. Open access, according to the Berlin Declaration, open access is a form of publishing in science, but also in culture in general, which follows the main rules which are normal in science, such as peer review, control, quality control. And so it's not self-publishing where you put your stuff on your website without any quality control. It should be fully, equally like in traditional publishing, peer reviewed.
Well, open access is a critical step to a more open scientific community. It's important that the taxpayer has a good grasp of what his or her tax dollars, tax euros are paying for. And open access is one step into that direction.
The open access concept runs contrary to conventional publishing methods, even for online journals. Up to now, publishers of scholarly journals have benefited from public money originally spent to enable scholarly research.
Wenn Sie sich eine wissenschaftliche Zeitschrift, zum Beispiel der Naturwissenschaften, nehmen, dann werden Sie feststellen, dass die meisten Wissenschaftler, die daran publizieren,
if you take a scholarly journal, perhaps a scientific one, you will notice that most authors work at public research institutions, such as universities. These authors are paid by public funds, and these are expected to publish the results of their scholarly research. Today, they generally do this with the help of a conventional publisher. This means, if you look at a typical contract between publisher and author, that the author gets no fee from the publisher. Various arguments justify this behavior, such as recognizing that the authors benefit from maximizing their reputation, or that they want to keep journal prices from increasing. In this way, publishers get highly qualified authors essentially for free. This is one way in which the publisher profits from public funding. The second way comes up when we discuss peer review. The question is, who does the peer review? The reviewers are exactly the same world-renowned scholars who are mainly paid by public funding and who get no money for this type of quality control, lest it prejudice them. This is the second link in the chain.
Die Qualitätskontrolle übernehmen, weil sie werden dann bestechlich.
There's a third link which occurs when those works, which were created by public funding, are repurchased using more public money. Libraries or scholarly institutions often have to pay high prices to buy back commercially published scholarly research.
Eben überhöhten Preisen diese Ergebnisse vom Verlag zurückkaufen.
It was okay that the publishers profited from the publicly funded research, was okay as long as the libraries were able to buy or to license these work under fair condition. But this is no longer true. And so open access is a kind of self-help, self-organization from science to overcome the disaster which has been produced in the last couple of years by the market.
So the publishers, they know that they get everything from the public funded research, and they sell it again to the public funded research through the libraries, but they get the money out of it. I question this, if this is a model for the future.
These are some of the reasons why supporters of open access want to make publicly sponsored scholarly literature freely available to the general public. Developing countries especially cannot afford the high cost of information and need open access. Non-scholars likewise benefit from the open access movement. Making this dream into a reality is no childish